police officer walked the perimeter of that house with a flashlight. The ground was soft. It had rained 2 days before, the kind of rain that turns soil into memory, that holds the shape of everything that touches it. 2 figures had been standing outside that window 20 minutes earlier. 2 figures that whispered, that swayed, that reached out and moved a locked door handle. The officer found nothing, not one mark in the earth. Whatever had been standing outside that window, it had never touched the ground. What moves through the world without leaving a mark on it? Tonight, 3 accounts, 3 people, no connection between any of them. She was in her early 20s. Her boyfriend was with her. They were at her family's property, a large older home, the kind that sits far enough from any road that you genuinely lose the feeling of being connected to the rest of the world. No traffic sounds, no neighbors, just the specific, heavy quiet of a place that exists at the edge of things. That weekend, it was just the 2 of them. They went to bed late. Nothing unusual during the evening. They fell asleep, and then the sound hit them, both of them, at exactly the same moment, sitting upright simultaneously from a dead sleep. She described it as a horn, but wrong. Something that operated at a frequency that felt designed to penetrate. The word she used every time she told this story was wrong. Just wrong. Before either of them could speak, the flash. A single, instantaneous burst of white light from the backyard. Not lightning. This was one frame of total white, there and then gone, like a photograph taken by something that needed to see the layout of the yard. Then the floodlight came on. By itself, it flooded the backyard with harsh artificial light. And underneath the sound of their own breathing, they heard the voices. Outside, beyond the glass, multiple voices, the rhythm and cadence of conversation, but wrong. And then they saw them, 2 figures, standing outside the window, just standing and swaying. A slow, rhythmic, lateral movement. She grabbed her phone. He grabbed his. 0 signal. Both of them. Simultaneously, the figures drifted toward the kitchen door. The handle moved. Slowly, deliberately, the sound again. Same frequency. Another flash, closer this time, white light painting the interior kitchen walls. Both phones lit up at exactly the same moment. Full signal. The locked doors clicked open, gently, as if whatever had wanted inside had simply decided it no longer needed to be. Police arrived. They walked the full perimeter. They examined the soil beneath the window. No footprints, no marks, no evidence. She never stayed in that house again. He was going through a breakup. He'd retreated to his parents' lake camp house, a modest structure at the edge of water, at the edge of everything else. He had his dog with him. The first night, the dog refused to go outside. A dog that plants its feet at the threshold, refusing, not hesitating, is communicating something that runs deeper than any training. He went out alone. From the dock, looking across the water at the far tree-line, he saw them. Glowing orbs, multiple, orange-amber, warm in color but cold in the feeling they produced. They moved, but not the way any aircraft moves. They accelerated in ways that had no relationship with inertia, as if the concept of mass simply didn't apply to them. And then they stopped existing, didn't fly away, didn't fade. Between one moment and the next, gone. Second night, the lights came back, closer. They were no longer at the far tree-line. They were over the water. Several of the smaller orbs drifted together, overlapped, and merged, coalescing into a single larger orb the way oil droplets find each other on a water surface. That combined orb descended below the visual horizon of the lake, as if whatever this was understood his sight line and deliberately left the frame. Third night, the dog was shaking. He went out anyway. The lights were close, and this time there was sound. A low humming he felt in his chest before his ears registered it. The orbs accelerated toward him, dispersed simultaneously in every direction. For several seconds, he was standing in the center of a pattern of moving light that completely surrounded him. And then they were gone. All of them, instantly. Nothing scorched, nothing marked, nothing left behind. The lights never came back. He was traveling with his wife and children in an RV. They stopped at a secluded campsite, trees on every side, no neighboring campers visible. After she and the kids were asleep, he'd slip out, find a spot he'd identified during the day, and sit alone with his cigarette and his thoughts. He was alone, in the dark, away from the RV, in the woods. He sat down and heard the sound, pulsating, an oscillating, rhythmic, mechanical tone. He'd camped before. He knew what belonged in a forest at night. This did not belong. He walked toward it. A man alone in the dark walking toward a sound he cannot identify. He walked toward the sound, and the forest went silent. Not gradually, instantly. The thousand small sounds that make a living forest feel alive, gone. 10 feet in front of him. It was standing there, 7 feet tall, bipedal but wrong in every proportion. Limbs too long, torso too narrow. The geometry of it assembled from the concept of a bipedal creature rather than the actual biology of one. The eyes, or the structures functioning as eyes, were reflective, catching the ambient light and returning it in a way his brain processed as eyes while simultaneously screaming that they were not right. It shifted its weight. One micro-adjustment, the kind of repositioning that communicates. I see you. I am calculating you. I am deciding. Then it moved. Not walked, not ran. Skittered, a rapid, multidirectional scramble that covered the distance to the tree line faster than anything that size should physically be able to move. He walked back to the RV. His wife was outside, frantic. She had been looking for him for over 2 hours. He had been gone for over 2 hours. He had no memory of over 2 hours. In 1961, Betty and Barney Hill lost 2 hours on a drive through New Hampshire. In 1975, Travis Walton vanished for 5 full days. The clock and your subjective experience disagree, and you will never know what filled them. He didn't tell his wife what he'd seen. He lay down, and just before dawn, a heavy whoosh overhead, something moving through the air above the RV, fast and close. He looked out. The forest was still. The sky was empty. If the ground holds no footprints, if the dock holds no marks, if the forest closed over what stood in it like it was never there, then where exactly does a study go when it's done with its subjects?